And it says we are live on YouTube. And again, I never believe it. So we'll just wait until I see it from my own two eyes that we're there. And then if anybody here is watching, I see we got 21 people waiting. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know that you can hear us okay. Everything looks and sounds good. That would be really helpful. And we'll vamp for a minute while we wait for that. But I do see us live, so that's perfect.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
Half the battle, if they can't hear us, at least they can look at us. And, that's not half bad.
Yeah, that's sometimes that may be better.
Atlanta. Randy's coming from Atlanta. Atlanta.
Ooh.
Good to see Randy.
Hi, Randy.
We got I think we're going to have a good crew today. I'm super excited about this. Rewatched Cody's testimonial that you guys did for him this morning. It's so good. Lavender Giraffe says everything is fine. Rob from Orlando, Wires in Boston. Awesome. We got people all over. Very good to see you too. Excellent. Okay, well then, if we sound good, everything's good, then we're going to go for it. Baltimore, nice. David, good to see you. Monica says, great topic. I agree. All right. I think all of my systems are good to go. I can see the comments in here. I got links. We're just going to kick this thing off. We got people waiting, so let's do this. Thank you guys so much for being here. UK in the house too. We're super excited to do this. Me and Abby have been scheming this up for a while because she started showing me what she was doing with these video testimonials. I'm like, I have to have this for my business. And thankfully, Abby's went way above and beyond whatever I imagined. I thought she was just going to say, oh, go do this. She's put together a presentation, resources. By the end of this webinar, you are going to know how to go do this for yourself, which is really, really awesome. And if you don't feel like doing it for yourself, there's people out here that can help too. So even better. So we're just going to kick this thing off. Abby's got a lot to get to here, but first I just want to make sure everybody knows Abby. Abby runs the Content Lab, as you can see back behind her, and is recently launching a service for the Video Testimonial Company, which is a perfect name for a company who does video testimonials. I love it. So that's a huge new thing she's got going on here. She's been a part of the admin bar forever, doing lots of great blog posts for us. She does fantastic work. This is probably the millionth time we've had you on, so I probably don't need to do any of this, but I feel compelled to anyways. And I want to make sure I probably didn't cover anything. So maybe you give a better intro than I could give. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Not at all. You've covered everything. That's it. Hello, my name is Abby Wood, Content Lab, main company. Obviously use all of my imagination up to name that one because the new one is just the Video Testimonial Company. But hey, it does exactly what it says. Based in Waterford, Ireland. If there is anyone else out there in Ireland, please pop it in chat. Always good to see the locals around. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, Kyle. You
Nailed
do
it.
a fantastic intro, and I can't add anything to that.
You know what? I did so much preparation for that intro too, so I'm glad all that hard work paid off. I remember right when we start that I need to intro. So perfect. All right, then I'm just going to let you take it over from here. I'm going to share your presentation here on the screen. While we got people in here, if you have questions during this webinar, pop them in the chat. I can mark them here on my end and save all those. Abby's going to answer questions for us there at the end. So anything that pops up or you're unsure about, or you want to know how this might work in your situation, drop those in the chat. I will star them back here on my end, and that way we can come back to all those. So definitely do that. And Abby, I'm going to share the screen. I wonder if I can make it where I completely go off the screen. I don't know, but I'll let you take it from here.
All good. All good. Okay, let's make sure this is working before I start blabbering on. Screen is shared. Wonderful. Undeniable social proof. Cut through the noise of video testimonials. A how-to guide. Yes, I just read the first slide. So tell me, Kyle, if this moves on to the next slide. Did that work? Did it work?
I don't know. Maybe you can't hear me when I take my video off the screen.
Yeah, no,
perfectly.
You just disappeared and then I couldn't hear you. And I panicked a little bit and thought that I'd left, but it's all good.
No. Good to go. The only thing is we're covering up part of the slides here, and I'm not sure how to make that problem disappear. Okay. Unless I do it like this. There we go. We'll do it like that.
There you go. Beautiful. Right. You can look at me staring at my screen, folks, and Kyle in the background chugging water. So it's all good.
Right.
All good.
Yeah. All right. We're good now.
Okay. back to business. Okay, my name is Abby Wood. I'm a mentor at Work Elevation, previously You Gurus. I'm also a digital agency owner. I own the Content Lab. I'm co-founder of Island Website Design and LearnRight LMS, and of course the video testimonial company now. Why am I telling you my CV? Because I know exactly how difficult it is to run a business, let alone multiple, and do all of the things that you have to do on your day-to-day to-do list. And after website copy, which is what, for my first company takes care of, testimonials are the most difficult thing for agencies to get out of their clients. I think we've all sent the same links over and over again and begged people to to leave us reviews. It's difficult, and you feel like you're pestering. To be honest with you, like I have a recurring task in my teamwork to just send out, requests for testimonials, once a month. But they're super important. Social proof is more important than ever. It's one of the biggest factors people considering when deciding who to hire or who to buy from. It's a tough race to win, though, because everyone is doing it. Google reviews, TripAdvisor, if you're in the tourism space, kind of absolutely everyone is just pumping out reviews as much as possible. Video is the answer. So it's fantastic to have Google reviews. I'm not going to deny that. I, as I said, I constantly try and get them myself. But AI and bots are flooding the review platforms. So it's really difficult for consumers and website buyers to figure out who is actually legitimate. Like, are these reviews genuine people, or has somebody paid $100 to somebody on Fiverr to go and, leave them 10 fantastic reviews on their socials or whatever. Side note, I don't know if that's a service. And I don't know how much it would be, but I highly recommend not doing it. Whereas video testimonials are real people saying genuine things. Even with AI videos out there of people speaking and talking, some of them are very, very convincing. But if somebody is looking up the person that is giving the video review, they can see that they work at a company, they know that it's genuine. So it's super important to really lean into this now. And it's a golden content repurposing opportunity. For those of you who know me around the admin bar and in table, you know that I'm a big, big fan of making the most out of every single buck you spend on content. So when you do a video testimonial, it's not just a testimonial you're getting, it is a bunch of other promotional items that you can make out of that, which we're going to cover a little bit later anyway. So here's some lovely facts for you. You will get the slides from this presentation in a little Dropbox folder that we're going to share later. And all the sources are, of course, linked to in the slides. So some fast, hard facts for you of how great video is. Viewers retain 95% of a video's info compared to just 10% of the information in text. As a copywriter, I die inside whenever I read that, but it is true. Video testimonials can increase conversion rates by 80% on sales pages, on landing pages. I'm a big, big fan of putting video testimonials, or even completely off topic, like the owner of the business talking about their business and why they do what they do. It really helps to just bring the human storytelling side out. And everybody here hopefully already knows that the stories sell, basically. 88% of customers trust video content as much as peer recommendations. Now, when I was doing the background research for this, as well as kind of researching the new company, I was gobsmacked by the 88%. Kind of peer recommendations, that's friends, that's family, that's co-workers, whatever, it's people that you know. Whereas kind of video testimonials, I was thinking, maybe they'd be considered a little bit more trustworthy than, say, like Google business profile reviews. But yeah, 88% as much as their own mother, which is amazing. And video testimonials and emails can increase the click-through rate by 300%. So very impressive facts. So hopefully you are sold on video being the answer. The next question is, how to choose the right clients and projects to highlight. So, we could, highlight absolutely any and every work that we could, possibly do on our site. But we need to keep in mind the two purposes that video testimonials are there to fulfill. So the first one is attracting good fit clients and projects. We don't want to attract bad fit clients. We don't want to attract those clients that, kind of are nickel and diming, or, kind of projects that we're not passionate about, that, kind of may not be overly profitable. So I always recommend to people, if they're thinking about, okay, what is a good fit client? Write down who your favorite client is. Write down what makes them your favorite client, the type of work that you absolutely love doing, and then see if you have any of those clients already in your portfolio or your kind of your background projects, and then approach them. Which we're also going to cover in a minute as well. I've got some free templates for you to do outreach with. So yeah, we're going to attract good fit clients and projects, and we're going to persuade people to hire you with the videos. So they've got to talk to the right target audience, and they've also got to be persuasive and tell the story of what it is like to hire you as a web designer or a marketer or a content person, if any of you are listening as well. So the three main things: one, vibes. Yes, really. You got to get on with them. I think that the best work we do is for people that we genuinely like, that we genuinely want to help make their business fantastic. So if you have a great rapport with a client, it'll show up in the video testimonial. The work is great, so you love doing the work. It's the type of work you could live and breathe the next 25 years. You want to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And the results are impressive. So not only did you love doing it, you love the person you did it with, and you also got some fantastic stats to show just how great the project was. So that's how to choose the right clients and projects to highlight. Next up, the one that usually puts people off is how to ask and actually get a yes. It's daunting reaching out, which is the weird thing. Like if somebody loves working with you, they want to help you get more business. So I tend to just be completely and utterly upfront and just like, hey, I love working with you. I would like to work with more people like you. Can you give me 20 minutes just on Zoom or whatever platform you're using, whether that's StreamYard or Riverside or whatever. And, I'll ask you a few questions and you answer them, and I'll cut myself out of the video afterwards. And that's the secret to doing a great video testimonial. You've just got to ask initially. So this one is one that I actually sent. Hey client, how would you, obviously not referring to them as client, but I've removed their name. Hey client, how would you feel about doing a video testimonial for me? I must update our case studies page. They're all over 3 years old. Typical cobbler's shoes scenario. I know that a lot of you can feel that pain as well. So yeah, all of ours are over 3 years old on our website, and I'd love to feature our work with you. Let me know what you think. So by doing this, and the next two as well, you're removing the apprehension of, oh God, what have I got to do this for this person? How much time is it going to take? And also, I really like this person and I want to help them out. So here's a couple more. Hey client, hope you're keeping well. I have a favor to ask. Would you mind doing a video testimonial for me? We could jump on Zoom and I can ask you a few questions, or you can create your own if you want. Let me know what you think. So this one is aimed at if you have like particularly tech savvy clients, like I do, obviously, because we work with digital agencies. Some of our clients, I'll send them the questions that I'd like them to answer, and they will then just record themselves on Zoom, which is amazing. And then we'll take the video and we'll edit it and we'll write a case study out of it and social media posts and all that kind of stuff. It's not a very popular option, the self-recording, because a lot of people are very self-conscious about being on camera and speaking confidently. And then we've got the third option. Hey client, we've really enjoyed working on project name with you and would love to attract more clients like you. Would you mind doing a video testimonial for us? It should only take around 20 minutes of your time. If you're open to it, I can give you a quick call to go through my ideas. So all of these kind of remove the pressure of, can you give me a great, fantastic review? It's pretty much like, you're doing me a great favor and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to walk you through every single step. So you really want to overcome those challenges to the yes. I'm going to have a sip of water now. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here, and I already starred somebody's comment here. They said, brilliant, hadn't thought of that interview style. That was a key for me when you first started talking to me about all this. Just asking somebody to go make a video on their own, good luck. I can't get them to type a few words into Google. But if you say, hey, we'll get on a call, I'm just going to, this is going to be a quick chat between the two of us. I'm just going to happen to hit record. And then you can just ask them the questions and they answer it. It's really easy on everybody. You can ask a few more questions than maybe you need so you can pull the best things from it. But that makes the pressure of it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier for the client to say yes, which is obviously huge. And then it makes sure that you can steer it in the right direction. Like, I'm very conscious when I do even Google reviews for people. Like, if I did a Google review for you, I would make sure to kind of keyword stuff it a little bit. I'm going to make sure to say all the right things so that it helps you out in search, right? But clients never think of that. So they'll say, the project turned out great. I'm like, damn, I wish they would have said the website project turned out great, because that would be better for my review, right? But when you're able to facilitate these conversations and ask them the questions, you can make sure you're getting the kind of feedback you want inside of that video testimonial, because you're kind of steering the conversation, which I think is such a hack in all of this. It's really good.
Absolutely, yeah. So I do have a list of questions for guys if they want to give this a go themselves, and that is free resource for you, lovely people. Yeah, the key part of this is you're guiding them through it. It's like a friendly conversation, so it's going to be natural by the time you edit it out. Edit it out. You don't want to edit the whole thing out. You want to edit yourself asking the questions out. So yeah, it's going to be natural, like a normal conversation. It's not going to be robotic, because they're not like sat in front of a camera going, so I worked with company name and we did a fantastic project. We saw a 95% increase in our OII.
Yeah, I'm clicking off of that video so quickly.
Exactly. Kind of it's going to be like, kind of, hey, my name's blah, blah, blah. We just found that we, kind of increased our sales by like 57%, and a huge thank you to company name because of it, that kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. But in general, the video stuff it's done with you. It's a friendly conversation. Like myself and the rest of the team who do the interviews here, we're all very personable. We're all very laid back. You will find that people will be nervous, including the lovely woman, Suzanne, who I'm going to use as an example later on. She was really nervous. She came with a bunch of notes, which I absolutely love. She was prepped, and I will give you some ideas of how to prep your clients as well later. But yeah, it was it's just removing the anxiety around it. A lot of people are very, very anxious about, being on video and it going up on somebody else's website. So yeah, we're just working around that and getting rid of the, oh God, really? And exactly like you said, you can control the narrative. You can point out things that you really want them to focus on.
And even by just saying like, hey, we're going to get on an interview, we remove the technical hurdle for clients who might not be really tech savvy, and they wouldn't even know how to record a video on their computer. And then they'd want to edit it and move stuff out, and they'd be nervous about sending something over when they misspoke in one part of it. Like, when you tell them, hey, we're going to handle all that for you, you just got to turn up and answer a few questions. It's a lot harder to say no to that,
It is, absolutely. Especially that, oh, what if I mess up and I say something wrong? Don't worry. It's the editing process. It's magic. We can just take that out. All good. What else was I going to say? You made a really, really good point there as well. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but it was important. Oh, a big tip that I will give you as well, thank you, Carl, for the reminder, is you can even make video testimonials out of, say, your check-in calls with clients. So if they start saying, hey, we've really enjoyed this part of the process, you'd be like, hey, do you mind if I just quickly hit record? Because I'd love to turn this into a video testimonial later. And sometimes you can get fantastic feedback during a feedback session, or if you do weekly or monthly check-ins with your client, just be like, hey, I'm I know a lot of people record them anyway because of note-taking facilities, etc. And just like, hey, do you mind if I take that bit of that recording and just like, edit it a little bit to put it up on the site? I'll send you a copy to make sure that you're happy with it before it goes live, that kind of thing. And by not making it a bigger deal, by being like, okay, well, we're going to be recording a session and it's going to be a video testimonial. It's literally like, hey, do you mind if I just record what you just said? Because that was fantastic. So yeah, little tip. Sometimes it's easier just to record a meeting. Okay, so video testimonials are sales tools. And the 4 main questions that we get during the sales process for companies across the board, for clients, leads, people that are thinking of hiring you. Can I trust this company? So they are looking for the proof points, social proof points, kind of better than anything. It's very difficult to fake social proof points if they're real people. They do a little bit of research on a project. They find out who the company owner really is. They can see, okay, this is them and this is them saying fantastic things. How does this work? So the process, what it's like, what it's like working with you as an agency, as a freelancer, as a web designer. I have a list of questions that I always go through with people. I'm going to share with you in a few minutes. And a big part of it is, here's what to expect. The next question is usually what it's going to cost me. So we want to avoid generally speaking about money or, kind of how much they paid for the project. The way to frame it around cost is to think outside of money, to think outside of financial value. You are saving them time. You are saving them stress. You are giving them back the freedom to work on other things in their business. So the value of the service is more than the dollar or the euro or the pound or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, that you charge them for the thing. And how do I start? Really simple explanation. With that one, literally, how do I get started? How can I reach this company? What do I need to prep in advance? So a great video testimonial will be, it was so easy to get started with company name. They were super friendly. They were super helpful. They walked me through every single stage of the website design process. It was completely new experience for me, and it really helped me, avoid a lot of stress or whatever that is. Look at me ad-libbing at the time. Doesn't usually go well. But yeah, that kind of thing. So that's what makes a testimonial video worth watching. You want them to really sell the story of what it's like to work with you. Okay, so the interview questions that lead to story-driven answers. There's a few things that we really want to touch upon in interview questions. The problems and the situation. So an overview of exactly what struggles the client was going through when they hired you. Why did they approach you in the first place? And that builds up, a little bit of rapport between the speaker and the listener. So they can say, oh yeah, no, I'm going through that right now. That sounds just like me. And this person has all of that solved. How can I get there? It's the typical, the typical island of sad, island of happy, and you're the boat between them. Hello, story brand. Going back to the basics here. But yeah, so we want to run through problems in the situation. We also want to run through your USPs. So if you are somebody that is a freelancer and you specialize in really white glove service, and it's very personal, it's very kind of, I don't want anyone to be working 24/7 a day, but it's very responsive. So kind of, you're there when they need you. That's a USP. So you really lean into that during the interview, and really get them to cover exactly why those USPs are fantastic. We want to build, we want them to get to know us, like us, and trust us. So those are the 3 core things of selling. They need to know who you are, they need to like you as people, and they need to trust that you can get the work done for them. The emotions. Everyone knows that people usually buy emotion first and then they follow it up with the research and the facts afterwards. So we really want to focus in on those end benefits. So rather than the deliverables, which, we can focus on in a case study later, we're really focused on, kind of I hadn't slept in 4 days because I was so stressed out about losing sales on my website. I reached out to Kyle at the admin bar. I know you don't do web design, the admin bar. Roll with it. And he really helped me. He took over my e-commerce problems and he fixed them the very next day. And I will be forever grateful to get a good night's sleep as a result. And finally, results. So if you have those facts and stats that really kind of prove it. So we're running with emotions first of, I am so relieved. I have no stress. In an ideal world, wouldn't we all just be stressless? I can focus on my main goal with the business now rather than worrying about having to update my meta titles and descriptions. And then you hit them with the results. So, kind of once we had sorted that out, the client saw this, and this as a result of this. So with that being said, we have a freebie. Can you all see my screen, Kyle?
I'm just still seeing the screen that says freebie.
Okay. How's that?
Now I see a Google Doc.
We're up on the technology over here.
Nailing it.
So this is a template for you to use. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's designed up because right now it is ugly. But it's just a text. It's pretty personality less so that you can come in and use it and edit it yourself. So this is how to prep your client for the video testimonial to get them to where you need them to be so that the video testimonial is in great lighting, the camera works, the audio works, and also these are the questions I'm going to ask you. So we've got what to expect during your video testimonial. That's a lot to cover in 20 minutes. How has our work helped you? What problem are you looking to solve when you found us? Then we've got some examples underneath. And I always recommend people giving the testimonials to sit down for like 10, 20 minutes long before the testimonial is scheduled in and write down some of these answers because it just helps them get it all mulling over in their brain before they jump on and start talking. What made you choose us over the other options available? What work did we deliver and did it meet your expectations? What is it like to work with the team? Were there any nice surprises about working with us? If someone called you and said, why should I hire? Company name, what would you tell them? So those are the 7 main questions that you can start with. You could definitely make a video testimonial out of this, 100%. How to show up ready is a little guide. So exactly what they need to do to get in the right frame of mind and also a very nice, quiet, well-lit room to be able to get the best testimonial out of them. And of course, a nice reminder, it's going to be edited. So I'm going to show up an example if you bear with me.
I think reminding them at the end, like taking the pressure off. This is going to be edited. I don't want to make you look bad. Like I'm going to try to make you look as good as I possibly can. Like you're on their side is huge too, because people are going to be nervous.
Absolutely. And I think kind of because we're in a world where, we see so many highly polished videos, people think they have to get it done right first time. And that just isn't the case. Editing is a wonderful thing. Whenever I've done videos in the past for my own company, like promo videos and stuff, not testimonials, I will literally do like a sentence at a time of the video and then just kind of smush it all together in a super professional way that looks good. But this is what it looks like when it's in a PDF. So this is the Content Labs version. So you can see we've added a little bit of personality in there. We've got the team. We've got, kind of we're big on emojis and very friendly, approachable kind of tone of voice and stuff. I've changed some of the questions a little bit, kind of put our names in there, designed it out nicely. I haven't designed it. My wonderful project manager, Riley, designed it out for us. And yeah, kind of in our company colors and stuff. So that's what it looks like when it's designed up. And those are available in the Dropbox folder for you wonderful, wonderful people. So feel free to use those if you want. Okay, so we're back to the correct tab, Kyle, with the testimonial.
Necessities.
Yes, fantastic. Just double checking.
You got us down now.
So legal paperwork. You're going to need legal paperwork for testimonial videos. Talent release forms. If you want to use them on anything, you're going to need somebody's permission to use that video of them speaking. A great option is to get e-signatures on everything as well. It's a lot easier than the old way of printing out and scanning back in, which takes me back to quite a few years ago. But talent release forms, 100%. You're going to need a contractor agreement / contract if you don't already have them for the web design project or the marketing project or whatever it is you've done together. You're going to need one for this portion of it as well. A client services agreement. So exactly what's going to happen and what you're going to use the videos for. If you're doing on-site videos, most of ours are remote, so we get to skip this lovely form, but we have done a couple on-site in Ireland. You're going to need a location release form. So whoever owns the property that you're filming in, or say if you are, kind of on a lovely plot of land with beautiful trees and stuff, is it owned by somebody? Do you need to get, council's permission or whatever? And an NDA if needed, non-disclosure agreement. Some clients will like that too. Software and hardware. So camera. I'm a big fan of the Elgato. I know that for microphones, Yetis are super popular. I use Elgato microphone and camera. They're pretty cost effective, we'll put it that way. They're not too pricey. Lights, I have a ring light right in front of me right now. It's not great. I use a different one for the actual video testimonials, but that's not important for us because we're edited out of the videos anyway, aren't we, folks? Recording software, editing software, and graphic design software. If you already have, say, Canva for graphic design or Figma or whatever you use, you can use that for this. You don't need to, kind of buy super expensive software to just do that portion of it. For recording and editing, I use Riverside. I find it very cost effective, and it's also what we do. We record and edit our podcasts in that as well. So it's kind of like a combined fantastic way of just getting everything all in one place. And then my wonderful Riley only has to learn how to use Riverside and not any other software. So yeah, I think kind of if you are getting started in this as well, a lot of clients can just use their phones. You don't have to rely on very expensive technology to get these done. It's an interesting kind of change of momentum in user-generated content. A lot of people prefer kind of the less polished versions of videos because it's more believable, it's more real, it's more human. So if you have somebody on their phone, yeah, you're going to show them how to hold it and get themselves in frame and have like a clear background and stuff. But you don't have to be like, well, you need this type of camera to be able to record yourself, okay? And you need this type of microphone. From my own experience, avoid people using their laptops. Just because the quality of cameras in laptops and microphones will vary a lot, whereas modern phones, I sound very out of touch there, modern phones have very good kind of hardware in them, and they usually outperform laptops that kind of the general public would be using if they're not professionals. Okay. So we have our fantastic video testimonial. We have edited it. And what do we do with it now? Like we have like a good 2-3 minutes of fantastic just applause in general words for our company. How can we make the most out of this? Like you're talking a good hour and a half prep for you to get ready for the video testimonial. You've got a good 20 minutes with the client, possibly half an hour. If they're super happy with you, it might even be a little bit longer. Then you've got to go ahead and edit it, depending on if you have, kind of editing prowess or whatever. You're going to look at about an hour to edit it. If you're super, super pro at it, you'll probably get it done a little bit quicker. And then, kind of you've got the graphics and stuff to go in there as well. So that's a lot of effort. We're looking at quite a few hours, kind of maybe even up to 8, 9, 10 hours for each video. So we want to get the most out of that effort. We really want to lean into this and use it as much as possible. So number 1, case studies. we have a wonderful example from the fantastic Squeak Media, Mr. Cody here in the admin bar. I'm going to bring up his in a moment. So a case study of exactly the challenge, the solution, and the proof points of everything that went well, and the super happy client giving the video testimonial as well. So a case study. You can, if you're not comfortable writing, you can always create a transcript and maybe consider using some of that in part of the case study. You can also hire a copywriter, and you can also use AI if you really want to, and give it the pure facts, and kind of then edit it for the love of everything, edit it into your brand voice afterwards. Social posts, you can take that wonderful like 3-minute video, and you can take little snippets like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds of some really amazing beautiful words said about your company, and you can use them on your social profiles. Video ads, exactly the same. You can use little snippets. Email marketing, we already said it's like a 300% increase in conversion rates if you use proof. Of course, the whole thing is about proof. Video marketing, video testimonials in your emails, and then pitch decks as well. So if you are presenting to a potential new client, you can use it in the pitch deck. You can also send it over afterwards as well. So we really just want to get the most use out of this completely, and really kind of get our money's worth out of it. So we have the wonderful Squeak Media example here. This is a video that I recorded with the lovely Suzanne here from Brick Media. So we have the live case study, and I'm going to open that up and I'm going to share this tab instead. So from a 20-minute Zoom call with me and Suzanne, we wrote the case study for the wonderful Cody, and this is what it looks like. So from a 20-minute video, we've got some fantastic proof points, 802% jump in search visibility. Hello, fantastic. We have the services that Squeak provide for them. We have some lovely design work on the right-hand side. We've got the lovely Susan here saying her little bits and pieces. We have the table of contents. We have exactly what happened. We had the deliverables, and we have some fantastic achievements down here as well with a link to the site. And then we have the CTA as well. Will we play the video, Kyle?
You know, I think it would be cool for people to see kind of how it turns out, even if we just play a portion of it. The only thing I don't know is if your audio is going to come through. So it looks like your screen is muted is what I'm seeing on this end, maybe inside of StreamYard. I tried to unmute it, but it says guests have to do that. So I'm guessing that's something you might have to do.
Okay, yep, it's saying reconnect. Okay, I'm going to stop my screen share, and then I'm going to do it again.
Perfect.
Stop sharing. And maybe if I get rid of some of these tabs, maybe I can't handle all the tabs. I love a good tab. Share screen. Okay. And also share tab audio. Wonderful.
There you go.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Adding it back on there. It looks good. And I see the little speaker thing now. So try it and I'll stop you if I can't hear it.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So here we go. Susan.
Working with Squeak Media has been absolutely amazing. We love Cody and his team. They're very personal and he likes to work with you. So it's more than just a typical company that does helps with newsletters or functional websites and stuff like that. They really get to know you as a person and as a company, and they work around your needs and your values and ideals. First started working with Squeak Media, we needed help doing a professional and functional website.
So there we go. We can see a little bit of what it looks like. And And yeah, kind of you could do the little transitions or whatever if you want. Always recommend putting up a little flash screen at the start with your company name or your logo. And yeah, you will notice that we didn't cut out the ums and the ahs and the, kind of like, changing a word or two, because it's more human and it's more real. It doesn't have to be completely, like, you will see her if you watch it again, kind of like checking her notes, because she was super, super nervous. She was a wonderful, wonderful woman, super, super nervous. So she just went to make sure she hit every single point to give Cody a fantastic testimonial. So kind of in between the scenes, kind of I was like, that's absolutely amazing. You're doing fantastic. That was perfect. We don't have to edit that at all. Just to kind of really boost, kind of the person's self-esteem and get them feeling a lot more comfortable doing it. Because as we've already said, it isn't natural for most people to, sit or stand in front of a camera and, talk about themselves and their business and, kind of how they feel about a project. So that's a good example of kind of the style of video testimonials that we've done. And then we have the resources link that will be available for you, including all of these slides, the templates, and there's some like the PDF examples and stuff like that in there as well. Thank you, and questions, please. That is it. That is the presentation. So basically, get on it, folks, because video testimonials are wonderful.
I love that you end presentations like I do, and that's it. I don't know what else. I don't know how to close this. That's all.
No summary, no like, ultimate guiding sentence, just like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, we're done now. Yeah, there you go. I just dropped that Dropbox link in the chat here. If you're watching a replay of this, I'll try to make a nice little tidy link for you where you can download all that. But there's lots of goodies. All these resources that Abby shared in here are inside of that. So you definitely want to hold on to that. I do have 3 questions already marked in here. If you have more questions, I would love to hear them. Let's fill them up here. We'll pick Abby's brain as much as we can. I did want to make a couple comments while we maybe wait on a couple more questions to come in here. I think the idea of this not being super polished is actually kind of its superpower. Because and let's just look at AI as an example. You could fake video testimonials with AI now. But the fact that this looks so real, it looks like somebody did it, on their phone or whatever camera. And that's what we're so used to with social media now. Like, we watch stuff all the time on social media that's people filming with their phones. And that just makes these people more human and more real and all that kind of stuff. So I actually think that's great. We had somebody mention earlier, in fact, I think it's this first question here. Rob, I'm hesitant to do a Zoom video because the quality is typically bad, poor camera and audio quality. What advice do you have for that? I would say, for me, to that point, like, good enough is good enough for something like this. Like, it doesn't have to be a super, super polished thing. But what do you think, Abby?
Yeah, I think that, it depends on your target market 100%. Like, if you are, kind of targeting video marketing agencies, then they're going to be looking for fantastic quality videos. But in general, kind of, I've used Zoom testimonial videos before, like on the Content Labs website. Kind of, I have people talking using Zoom, and it's worked for the last, as I said, 3 years that they've been up. No bother at all. I would say go for it. Do one with it. See how you feel about it. If you're really unhappy with the quality, try and get like even a secondhand Elgato, or I keep saying that it's the only brand I know because it's the one I have. You don't have to break the bank. See if you can get a secondhand webcam. See if you can get a secondhand microphone. But give it a go first of all with just the Zoom video on your laptop. You might be.
I think the thing, it's easy to use, and I'm not accusing Rob of this. Rob is fantastic, so I would never accuse him of this. But it's easy to use this as an excuse to just not do it. Like, oh, well, I'd have to get a camera. Oh, I'd have to edit it. Oh, I can't. Like, you could come up with a million excuses to never do this. But I promise you, a poor quality video, like as in the camera quality isn't 4K and the audio wasn't crystal clear, it was a little muffled in places, that's still going to be better than not having one of these. You're still going to be miles ahead. So like, there's a huge gap in between having nothing and having one that's maybe not perfect, right? And if you start to see traction with this and you're like, hey, I did this video testimonial and it led to all these good things, well, then you can always reinvest that into systems. So Zoom works just because we're all used to having Zoom. But Abby mentioned Riverside. Riverside is a paid platform, but the nice thing about what Riverside does is they will record the audio and video local on each person's machine. So it would be recording locally on your machine and locally on your client's machine. It uploads your client's copy and sends it to you, so your client doesn't have to do any extra work, but the quality is going to be so much better. Like right now, my video looks great on my screen and Abby's is a little fuzzy. Riverside fixes that because it's recording both sides locally, and that makes it look a whole lot better. So if you do this and you're like, hey, this works, I really like this, you could always upgrade to something like Riverside that's going to be quite a bit better, but it's going to cost you a few bucks a month, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. Lavender Giraffe says, does this work with large companies? I believe it is suitable only for small businesses when you have direct contact to the owners or individuals.
So absolutely, you could do it with large companies. So whoever your point of contact is, whoever signed off on the work that you delivered, I wouldn't have any issue putting like a creative director on the testimonial video, or just the head of marketing, or kind of the head of R&D, or whatever it is, whoever you're working with, because they technically still work at that company. They are representative of that company, and they work directly with you. It doesn't have to be kind of the owner. So say if I'm going to pull something straight out the top of my head. So say if you're working for Samsung, you're not going to get the owners of Samsung on a video testimonial call, no matter how big your agency is. You're going to be working with one of their underlings in the nicest possible sense of the word, and yeah, whoever you were working with, absolutely, just use them.
And this is where probably some of that paperwork that you talked about too, like the sign-offs and stuff like this, they might have to run some of that up the flagpole to get all that settled. But
yeah,
especially if you have an advocate inside the company, whoever you were working with, they can pull those strings. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And this one I know we answered, but Monica asked in here, where do you place these videos? So you talked about doing a case study, putting it on social media. I love the idea of putting it inside like your proposals or pitch deck. That seems awesome. If somebody's reading through your proposals, then all of a sudden it has a video of somebody talking about solving that exact problem. That seems huge. And then just repurposing these for ads and stuff. I know what you did for Cody's on the Squeak Media, the example you showed. You did like the full 3-minute something video, right? And then you cut those answers into individual ones. I hadn't seen all those, but that's what I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So now kind of Cody can either just pop it up every so often on social media platforms, or, he can run a paid ad with it or whatever. Yeah, so you can definitely just post it wherever you want, Monica, anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere you can get use out of it. That seems great. But I think we've talked about this quite a bit in Table when people are talking about doing their social media stuff, and you get the sense that you already posted something on social media, so you don't want to post it again. Remember, most people aren't going to see your post. You're going to have to post it 5 or 6 times before everybody sees it, and still then they're probably not going to see it. So you can get a lot of mileage out of these, even if you just schedule and said, okay, I cut this into 5 short videos, right? I'll schedule 1 a week, and then just let that repeat. Every 5 weeks, that first video will go again, and it just go in order. And every 5 weeks, those are being posted. Nobody's going to realize they've seen that video twice, and most people won't have seen it twice. So you can get, there's a 1 post a week done for the foreseeable time out of 1 video, which is a great way to get lots of extra mileage out of this.
Absolutely.
And then I liked all the questions you asked too. One thing I know. Actually, I think I have a video of me giving you a testimonial on the Content Labs website.
Yeah.
And one of the tips that it was really helpful as a person who was giving the testimonial is like, I don't know how you'd phrase this best, so maybe you can help me out, but making sure the person responding to the question kind of restates the question without just reading the question like, what was it like to work with Abby? This is what it was like. But like working with, if the question was, what was it like working with Abby? Working with Abby was awesome. If that's the first thing they say, because then it restates that question. So the whole video doesn't have to be question, answer, question, answer. They're implying what those questions are. So do you have any tips on getting people to do that?
Absolutely. So when you're asking the question, you can say, hey, do you mind starting it like this? and then just telling them exactly what to say. So you can do that, absolutely. If you are a whiz with graphic design, you can put in the question before they start answering if they didn't do it, which sometimes happens. But yeah, you can absolutely, kind of give them a little bit of heads up in the walkthrough beforehand. So in those video testimonials, you don't see me, at the beginning giving them the whole spiel of like, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you a question. If you could answer it like this, and then I'll mute myself, and then we'll cut my face out of the video entirely, and this kind of thing. So yeah, it's all in the prep work. A lot of the hard work goes into the prep work with this.
Yeah, and I would imagine having subtitles on those shorter videos too could be really helpful. Just with how much time you open up your phone and are watching videos without any sound, having those subtitles on there could be really helpful as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's more accessible as well.
There you go. Very good point. Well, you must have answered lots of questions already, because we have a bunch of people watching and not a whole lot of questions coming in. So that's probably a good sign. I'm guessing you didn't leave any too many things here, which is great.
I'm hoping either that or they're a bit bored, which wouldn't be good.
They would have left if they were bored. We're 50 minutes into this. We wouldn't have so many people hanging out if they were totally bored. But I want to make sure, obviously, I can't imagine seeing all this, thinking about how beneficial this could be and the amount of content you could create out of it, and not wanting to do this for your agency. I can see thinking, this is really awesome. I have no time to do this, or I can't edit videos or anything like that. Obviously, you just launched the video testimonial company. So why don't you tell us about what you offer as a service if we'd rather just hire this out than do all that work ourselves?
Absolutely, yeah. So 100% there are, kind of like AI options out there and stuff. I wouldn't recommend using the AI interviewers, because I know an agency owner who did use one, and his client had some very harsh words for him afterwards. Was just like, you have me speak to a robot? No, this isn't the thing. Bless him. Yeah, so at the Video Testimonial Company, basically what we do is we'll organize the interview. So you send us an intro email between your client and us, and we will organize the interview, and we'll prep the client on how to do the interview. We'll record it, and we'll edit it. And then kind of depending on whatever package you choose, kind of you get the full interview, the social media things, the written case study. There's a bunch of other like deliverables and stuff in each package. But yeah, the whole idea is it's done for you. So you just send the email and say, hey, client, so happy that you agreed to do this testimonial. Here's the company who takes care of this for me. And then we take care of it for you. And then we deliver these amazing deliverables. That's the general idea. It should be hands-on.
So the thing I like most about this, other than not adding all the things to my plate, is it is not that it's impossible, and I don't think this should stop anybody from doing it on their own. It is a bit awkward to get on a call with the client and say, now talk fantastic about me. Like, I would feel embarrassed in that situation and a little bit awkward. So the fact that you're using a third party and say, hey, obviously you need to make contact with your client and ask them if you can do this or whatever. But like, Abby and her team are going to take great care of you. Then you go off and do it. And there's none of that awkwardness, because they're speaking to a third party where, they're not going to feel awkward about it either, which I think is a huge benefit.
Yeah, I've experienced both sides of the coin with this one. So I did our original video testimonials. I'm sure you remember me asking you awkward questions and me just sitting there awkwardly going, this is really awkward. Just like listening to somebody saying fantastic things about you, and you're just like, what are you on about? Shut up,
Yeah.
But if you are completely removed from that situation, so I've had Riley and Mia take care of some of ours lately, then the client feels more at ease to just be like, yeah, they did this, 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 and this. And, kind of the interviewer can dig in a little bit more. So if you are feeling a little bit awkward that, kind of somebody's saying nice things to you, or, that isn't how I remember that happening or whatever, the interviewer that is completely third party will just be like, tell me more about that. That sounds fantastic. That kind of stuff. Whereas if it's yourself, you're kind of like, okay, they've said this, they've answered that question, tick, 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 goodbye, So yeah, it does remove that element of just awkwardness.
And we're also so close to the situation too. Sometimes it's hard to know what to ask or what would be important because we were just in it the entire time, right? So having a third party there to ask not the dumb questions, but the obvious questions that maybe you would just breeze right by and not even think of, like what was it like getting started, or you talked about that beginning process or whatever. I would have never thought to ask that, but for a client that's looking to hire you, they probably want to do want to know, like, what are the first steps or what is the process like to get started,
Absolutely. I know that with some of the kind of, I call them the end clients, so the agency's clients that we've done interviews for, the agency owners have been a bit surprised with just like, wow, I never knew that they felt that way about this particular thing. Or sometimes it'll uncover USPs you didn't even know existed. It's just like, oh, I just do that as standard. That's not even a special thing to call out. But for somebody that you've really helped with that particular skill or just like general niceness or whatever, it's nice to hear that called out and to kind of bring awareness to yourself about it. I think is nice.
And this just crossed my mind here, but okay, let's say I hired you from my agency to do a video testimonial for client X, right? You go do a video testimonial, bring it back, we cut it all down, it's posted on the website. I'm going to share it with the client. Hey, look, it turned out great. Thank you so much for doing this. Maybe I send them something nice as a thank you gift, right? Mm-hmm. Are they not going to turn around and go, well, damn, I need one of these for my company? Like, could I then hire you to do that? Like, could I resell this service to my clients and then just hire you to do it?
You can, absolutely. So I did include kind of the package pricing in that Dropbox link. Feel free, if you want to resell it, add your own profit on top, whatever, you know me. The Content Lab is white label, so I'm well used to it. But yeah, absolutely, you can do that. You'll also I find a nice side effect is, kind of, unless they're super, super shy, they'll share the video of themselves talking about your company with their friends and their families and other business owners and that kind of thing. So it should get you other business that way as well, just because they're like, check me out, I'm published, But yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of like a never-ending. If you're B2B, it's never-ending kind of rolling over of okay, well, I can sell this to my client, and then kind of I can sell it to their client and that kind of thing. So yeah, video testimonials for all.
Yeah, and the fact that if they went through this process and were comfortable with it or fine with it, or it didn't kill them, I can see them being more apt to want to do this with their customers, right? So it's kind of like you've proven the process through doing. It's almost like you've put them through the sales process because now they know exactly how the whole thing works and what it turns out like and all that. I can't imagine them not wanting one. Now I noticed on the website, I just put a link to your website inside the chat here. I don't see the pricing on the website, but I do see the pricing inside the Dropbox link you shared. Is that something you're just sharing here in this webinar? I want to ask you about the pricing because I'm sure people are curious. I also don't want to date the video to where you go jack up prices on us in 6 months. But let's talk about the prices anyways.
Yeah, we are July 2025, folks. If you're watching this in 2030, it's going to be more expensive.
There you go.
Absolutely, in fact, share away.
Can I just share my screen maybe, and so we can be looking at it? Okay. I didn't prepare to share my screen, so share screen, allow. Now I got to find the right one. There it is. That should do it. Perfect. Okay, so you have 3 different packages here, right? So why don't you kind of take us through how all these work?
Yes. So we have 3 very imaginatively titled. Video only is it's all of the organization, it's the interviewing, and it is the editing. So that includes like the little graphic at the start with your logo and all that kind of stuff, and then the main video as well. So it's 90 seconds to 120 seconds. Generally speaking, you don't want more than kind of like 4 minutes of a video, of a testimonial video, because people just don't listen to it now. Then the second option, that's literally if you just want video only, that's it. The second one is the same as the previous one. You get a longer video, and you get 3 social ad cuts as well. And then you get a written deliverable, which is the website case study. So just like the one we did for the wonderful Cody, you know, kind of we've got the stats and facts provided by yourself, and then we write the case study for you as well. And then all the extras is all the extras. So as per the previous one, you've got all that. It's mainly written deliverables that you get as well in this one. So we have the website case study again. We have 1-page case study PDF. So you can literally send that to, you know, prospects that you've had meetings with, or you can print it out and put it like on a stand at an exhibition, whatever you want to do with it. Quote cards. We have 4 social media posts written, case study uploaded. So we will actually post it on your website for you as well. A Google review secured. So we will make sure that the wonderful, wonderful person we've interviewed has left a hopefully 5-star Google review, and you get a cleaned up transcript as well.
That's awesome. I mean, the fact that, so I imagine if you were just really worried about like the awkwardness of the call or asking the right questions and the video editing part, the lowest package on here will get you guys to do all that for you. And then you could always go cut up these videos or write a case study or anything like that if you wanted to do it on top of it. But that's awesome. I love this as a service. When you told me that this is what you were going to be working on, I was very excited because once I saw Cody's like entire, in fact, I think I don't got the whole screen share going, but I left the link to that in there. Once I saw Cody's video testimony, I'm like, I have to have one of these on my website now. So I'm trying to figure out which client I want to do first to figure, you know, see who's going to make the best one out of it. But I just imagine if a client is looking at you and 2 other companies, and then they get to see your clients glowing about you on a video, that for me is going to sell it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, especially when you can hand it off, it's a handy way of, you know, kind of really promoting your company with the people that you've helped the most and that you really enjoyed working with the most. So, you know, kind of like on our site, we have, I think 8 new testimonials and case studies going live kind of the end of this week. But you know, kind of a lot of the agencies that we've worked with, and they're all, not all of them, we've handpicked some of the companies that we've worked with, the video testimonial website. Like there's a tax company on there, there's a cleaning company on there, that kind of stuff. You know, they've all been really, really happy. And that's the main thing. It's like, wow, I have this is fantastic. And you know me, I love to over deliver. So they were just like, This is better than what I expected. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I'm glad that you're happy.
No doubt. Well, I'm sure, I was going to say, if anybody had any questions or anything, it doesn't look like there's any more in here, but if they end up with questions, I'm sure they can reach out to you through the videotestimonialcompany.com.
Absolutely.
Perfect URL for that. And Abby can definitely help you out on all that. What I really appreciate is obviously you would love to get some people to book you, but instead of just coming on here and saying, hey, come book me, you just showed us how to do the entire thing. Like we have all the tools to go do this ourselves. So feel free to go do this yourself. Or if you have more time, or if you have more money than time, hire Abby. If you got more time than money, do this yourself. Either way, you probably need this on your website. So you have 2 different paths for it, which is awesome. And I always appreciate how much you over deliver for our webinars as well.
Not at all. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, I want to see those video testimonials live, guys. I don't care if you hire me or not. I just want to see them.
Get them done. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you again so much, Abby. And like I said, if y'all have questions, you can go to the videotestimonialcompany.com and get a hold of Abby on there, or you can find her inside the group, or ping me and I'll make sure to get you in contact with her. Abby, thank you so much. This is always a treat talking to you. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us for this presentation. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the next one. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and we will talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.